Hello, I have been having these downloads and I am taking action because without the action, my clients don't take action. So here we are. Long story short, I am now hosting a free weekly coaching call that will be recorded and published right here on the podcast so that you can get into my world. I'm looking for more driven entrepreneurs to be part of this weekly coaching call. So if you want to create life changing results in your business for yourself, your family, and for your clients, and you want to find a way of doing it that feels good, fun, and sustainable, then plug into mentorship with me on the next Bigger Than You Coaching Hub call. It takes place every Wednesday on Zoom at 1 p.m. UK time, which is 8 a.m. EST. To register to attend the next call, click the link in the show notes. Do it now before you listen to this episode. Okay, welcome back. This is only the second coaching call that we are recording for the podcast, but I'm really, really excited. We have a fresh batch of questions, some beautiful people in the room, and we're going to get started straight away. So, question number one is how to get out of your own way and shift blocks about personal timeline expectations versus work achievements. And this, in order to help you as much as I can, Lydia, I'd love to can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you an example of where that could take place. I won't give you necessarily my example.
Well, hang on, we can't hear you, Lydia.
Oh, no, hello?
Oh, yeah, you dropped out. Can you just start that again? Because we didn't hear any sound.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Say, for example, you wanted to start a family and you weren't sure what that looked like, and you knew that you wanted to get to this place in your business. And the two are quite conflicting feelings and emotions, and it's kind of stopping you from moving forwards with your business for fear of success in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Love this question. Okay, so can you talk to me? So you feel that you've got a fear of success because what if what's the story?
Because I've got a personal deadline coming up next year, middle of next year, and I worry that I won't be in a place to serve my audience or my clients. So I'm almost trying not sabotaging it.
What, just in case you get pregnant kind of thing?
No, no, sabotaging the success by not taking the right steps, but fear that moving forwards will put me in a place that I can't deal with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Regardless of the details of like what might be going on in life, like it could be building a family, it could be anything, but I hear you, and yeah, it is really, really important because we never know what is around the corner. And so we want to be able to move in the present moment in alignment to what we really want, regardless of what's around the corner, right? We don't want to hold ourselves back for fear of what might or might not happen. And just wondering whether to how open a book shall I be here? But fuck it, I'm a fully open book, so I'm going to be open here. My story, my history, and like how I came to be doing what I'm doing was like a really hard journey with infertility, and we got our girls, and we were blessed with two. And I would love to have another child, but I would never do fertility again. And I don't mean to be making this all about me, but I'm hoping, like I always trust what comes through, right? As I coach, in the hope that it's going to serve you. We'll get there. Like I recognize this is about me at the moment, but like I have a point to make. So yeah, my kind of personal, our decision, mine and my husband's decision was we would love to have another child, but you know, personally, I wouldn't want to go down fertility that route again. So we literally live our lives in a place of surrender, and you know, not knowing if another baby is going to come along, what that might look like, you know, literally a place of surrender. And I think it helps me have the level of trust that I have in myself as a business owner, because I literally don't know, you know, whether it's going to happen or not. Like, if we're blessed, we're blessed. If not, then that's fine, kind of thing. So how does this help you? I think is stretch that trust muscle, that trust in yourself and your ability to be okay with whatever outcome, right? You're always fully supported. Always, always, always. So don't hold yourself back. Like I'm not just going to give an answer and move on. Like I want to hear what you have to say back and keep coaching you on coaching you on this. But the first thing that I want to say is you're always fully supported, and so go for what you want without the fear. Okay, so let me go back to you. How does that resonate? What's coming next?
Yeah, it does. I think I have an innate belief that so it's the difference between Sunday night and Monday morning, right? You dread Monday on Sunday, but when Monday comes, you can tackle it. So I have an innate confidence that in that place over there, I'll manage, I'll be okay. But because I don't know what it looks like, I'm protecting myself now. And actually, all that's doing is kind of stopping me getting there, which I don't want to happen, because it's like a double-edged sword. I need to be there. I need to be there by that point. But I'm not putting, you know, almost not putting one foot in front of the other to get there, which is
Okay.
like self-sabotage, you know?
Yeah. I know that you're out and about at the moment. So, like, normally with a client, I'd get them to close their eyes and visualize right now, but hopefully you can do this. You don't need to close your eyes. But if you visualized best case scenario, what would that look like?
That my business would be in a place where it was to a point working on a machine basis. So there would be systems. And I could choose to dial up and dial down my input at that point.
And what do you think is stopping you from taking the moves to get to that place? This is $1 million question. It's okay if you don't know.
I don't know, perhaps the fear that the time frame is too short, or perhaps the fear that my life will be so complicated then, or
What is generally, well, not generally, most of the time what's going on here is we feel the way we feel as an adult because our subconscious is remembering something from the past, right? So if you're scared of doing the work, like what's the emotion, Lydia? What's the feeling?
If it's like slight overwhelm or panic, or yeah, probably overwhelm.
Yeah. Were there business owners as role models growing up?
Yeah.
Would you say they came across as overwhelmed?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. My mum worked her skin, her fingers to the bone, and she had 3 kids in paid education and worked, yeah, like crazy.
Yeah. So that is what your subconscious knows, right? So it makes sense that your subconscious is like, no, because this will happen, right? We create our reality based on what's in the subconscious. Your subconscious is filtering your dreams and what's possible and all of those things through your lived experience and the emotions that you've had during that lived experience. So if you saw that success means overwhelmment and not being able to cope, or whatever your unique experience of success is, that's recorded on a subconscious level for you. And so therefore your subconscious just wants to protect you, right? It's not interested in your dreams or like living your best life. No, it just wants to protect you. So there we connected the dots, so you can see then why you're holding yourself back. So what we need to do is we need to create safety around this idea of success, right? Doesn't matter that you've seen it happen that way. You are now aware that's in the subconscious, and it's about changing that relationship with, no, I get to choose how I move. I get to choose how I feel, and I am rewriting what success means for me because I'm choosing that. Now, this is the work that I do, and like subconscious reprogramming is really, really quick for that, because you have direct access to the subconscious to reprogram all of that. But the way you can do it without kind of investing in subconscious reprogramming is radical self-awareness, right? Noticing where the resistance is, noticing where you're holding yourself back, and coaching yourself through that, telling yourself that it is safe to do the thing that I want to do. Just now you've got an awareness that there's not safety in success. It's now your job to change that relationship with safety, with success even. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get the radical self-awareness. Change. I mean, normally what I do is just like have a word with myself and just, so I have kind of made space for the feeling in acknowledging it, but then what I then like step 2 is to stamp on it. like give yourself a pep talk, have a word with yourself and stamp on that. Okay. And I'm not sure if that is the right approach or not.
Tell me what you mean by stamp on it.
Telling yourself that is only a thought, and those thoughts cannot control me, and all I need to do is just put one foot in front of the other and the rest will happen.
Yes. Okay, good. So we're not talking about suppressing feelings, we're just talking about reframing thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah, that's it. So the progress is in taking the action, right? We cannot change our identity or our limiting beliefs. Like when I'm talking about doing this work on your own, like we cannot become a new like up-leveled version of ourselves without taking action. So it is that radical self-awareness with the action taken. So exactly what you're doing, noticing the thoughts first of all, reframing them, telling yourself that it is safe, having a good relationship and an awareness with your body as well, because if your body feels nervous, then we want to do some nervous system regulation work there to calm yourself, to get out of that fight or flight state, and then take action from a calm nervous system place. And we do that over and over again. And a question that I share with my clients in the Becoming a Match training is if today, if what I get to choose for myself today has absolutely nothing to do with what happened yesterday or before that, what would I choose for myself? How would I show up for myself today? Right? Because every single day is a brand new beginning, right? We wake up with a blank canvas. The only reason we feel the way we felt yesterday, or we do the things that we do yesterday, the only reason we run the same loops and the same patterns and programs is because we're allowing ourselves to, right? So every day is a new beginning. And I would recommend when you wake up, like before you get out of bed, you know, that moment where you realize that you're awake first thing in the morning, you realize you're awake, you're like, okay, brand new day, what's going on today? Right, that in that moment, that is a golden opportunity for you to write the day, right? Visualize the day exactly as you want it. Visualize your next level self taking action. Noticing thoughts, reframing them, taking action. Like your best version of you in the day-to-day, what will that look like? How will that feel? And just play that movie in your mind as soon as you wake up every morning. And then when you're going to sleep at night, it's the other end of the day. As you're falling asleep, right? Your brain, once you're asleep, your brain will process on an even deeper level the things that you've been thinking about, and also the things that you've been consuming as well. Like, side note, guys, I'm very mindful of the things that I consume, the things that I watch, the things that I listen to, because it all makes a difference. And like, subconscious is like, you are the center of your universe. So whatever you're consuming, I don't know why this is coming through, but it is coming through. Whatever you're consuming is being absorbed on a subconscious level, right? Hence, now I am super sensitive to the things that I consume. I don't choose to consume like violence or any shit like that. Anyways, back to what I was saying. As you're going to sleep, your brain is going to process the things that you've been thinking about, and it cannot tell the difference between real and imagination, right? So what I want you to do as you are falling asleep is I want you to review your day, and anything that didn't go as well as you wanted it to, I want you to imagine a different version. So you imagine your day, how it went, but even better, right? Best case scenario version of the day that you had today. And because your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and the up-leveled version that you've just imagined, as you fall asleep, that will be recorded, right? And that's how we can up-level and up-level and up-level and create that safety around success. Lydia.
Okay, that's interesting. The bit about your brain not knowing the difference between the reality and the fiction. That's good to remember.
Yeah, definitely. Food for thought there. I'd recommend coming back once this is out next week, Lydia. Come back and listen. I think you'll pick up different things each time that you listen. And yeah, as you're just living your day, like that version of success that you want to have, that version of your life that you want to have, just hold it in your mind from an energy of course it's going to happen, right? Of course it's going to happen. There's no doubt, right? That's how I've achieved what I've achieved in my business whilst bringing up young twins, because there is zero doubt in my mind, right? The difference, like I talk about future memories and past memories. Past memories, yesterday, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but like last night I watched I'm a Celebrity. Like, I can remember that. There's no doubt in my mind that happened, right? That's the same energy that I hold when I'm visualizing things that I want to create, right? Hence, my brain is like, okay, of course those things are going to happen, because there's the same energy of a past memory and a future memory, right?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
It's just like, it's such a game-changing way to live, because you don't live like, oh, I hope this is going to happen. What if no? Like, you're properly in your own power, deciding what you want, visualizing it. Like, I create little future mind movies, so many different versions, so that when that moment comes, I'm like, oh yeah. Like the school that my girls go to, I manifested it. Like, I visualized time and time again being able to walk my girls to school. And now I live that reality every single day. We don't have to get in a car and find a car parking space, right? We were bottom of the list in terms of priority for our girls to get into that school, but we managed it. Like, we're always manifesting. So you're either a passenger in your life, although you're a creator of your reality. I'm going to move on because I'm aware of time, but I hope that's helped. And
thank you so much. Thanks.
I'd love to know, like, yeah, keep me updated. Okay, amazing. Christy, how do I get rid of the devil on my shoulder? I believe that I can and I will achieve, but keep getting these negative thoughts put into my head. Oh, Christy, I feel like, did you get value out of a lot of the things that I was just saying?
Yeah. I think it was just so well intertwined with everything that kind of my question had. So yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So having heard what you've heard already, Christy, is there anything else is there anything else you want to ask for me to support you more on that?
I don't think so. I think the videos that you kind of did before, like the live videos, they were kind of they kind of helped me a lot as well with kind of the question. So I'd say it was covered quite well. I think I just need to do what Lydia's doing a little bit more and kind of react to those negative thoughts and not let them take that space. And say, well, they're not my thoughts, and
They're not true.
Yeah, because I know that they're not, and instead of like just absorbing that, I need to keep on reacting, which I've started to do, but just need to keep working on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like visualize the life that you want to have, and what will you be doing, thinking, feeling? There's a very different energy. If like you've got really, really big dreams, right? You can visualize yourself having all of those things, and you can visualize how you would hold yourself if those things were your reality. Well, if you can visualize that, and the mind-body connection is so strong that you think something, and then these neurochemicals like are released, so you literally feel proud of yourself or excited or like relief or whatever those emotions are, you will feel them when you visualize that future reality. I'm gonna go with this. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, okay. So you're visualizing those big dreams having come true, and you feel what that's going to feel like. That is a different energy to how you're feeling day to day in your life right now. Okay, so the invitation there is to level up in your mind and your energy first, right? Because we create our reality, our external reality from within. We be, do, have, right? It's who we are being, how the energy we are holding ourselves in, which leads us to do the things that future us would be doing in order to have the things that we want. Okay, so it's about being that person first. Like, this is like I'm coaching on a framework called becoming the energetic match. Like, it's such a key thing, because you can't achieve what you want to create and achieve without being the person who has that, right? So who is she? How does she hold herself? What kind of thoughts does she think about herself? And get your mindset there. And it's okay, right? It's okay if you still have those like negative thoughts. Like, that's totally fine. Natalie's on the call today. She's in Powerhouse Portal. We literally had this conversation yesterday, didn't we, Natalie? It's about like progress over perfection, right? It doesn't matter if you notice the negative thoughts come in. Do not get annoyed at yourself, because that's just going to create resistance and make it harder for you to bounce back and overcome those negative thoughts. All you want to do is just every single time that unhelpful thought comes in, you end it on a more positive note. Like, and I don't know, have you got an example? Like, what's a type of negative thought that you get, that you think?
I think a lot of it's about money and costings because at the minute, being employed and transitioning into self-employed, I'm taking on a lot of extra costs, and it's a risk doing that transition. Like the last 2 days, I've been just speaking to accountants non-stop, so they sort my books out for me. And I feel like all I've been told about is how much this is going to cost me, and then it's kind of the thoughts in my head that are like, you haven't got that money. But I'm just like, well, no, I haven't yet. But I'm going to earn it so that I can pay the accountant. But it's like these little niggles that as soon as kind of you hear
something that you've got to do, and it's like almost stopping it progressing.
Yeah, so you are spot on with you notice the thought and then you take back your own power. You reframe that. You're like, well, no, I can, right? And what Chrissy referred to earlier about the lives and what would help. If you're resonating with the kind of things that Chrissy's saying now, if you go over to my Instagram, I did a live with a lady called Christina about financial responsibility. We did a live on her page and on my page, and there's a lot of value in terms of how to have the mindset around taking responsibility for money and things like that. So yeah, so whenever you get those negative thoughts coming in, it's okay, right? It's okay, but we just want to reframe them, and that's it. Like, it's not a big deal, okay? It's like, thoughts are just thoughts. When we take the power out of the thought, the negative thoughts, it becomes so much easier to be on your own team and to get what you want, to stay in the right energy, right? If you think about how much weight the thought, like random thoughts that we have, like, oh, what's for dinner tonight? Or, oh, did I finish that episode of Celebrity last night? Or, oh, has the post come yet? Those kind of questions that we just think, we don't give any power to them because they're just random thoughts, right? Then if we think about the level of power and energy we give to, oh, can I really do this? It's a very different feeling, right? So what we want to do is we want to remove the heaviness and the weight that we are giving those negative thoughts, completely remove it and just allow it to flow in, be reframed and flow out just like any other random thoughts. Yeah. And if it helps, like I'd absolutely recommend like consuming my podcast over and over again, so you get a feel of the kind of things that I say day in, day out. So you can almost have me in your mind, helping you coach yourself through those things. And then it gets easier and easier and easier, right? So yeah, you want to be on your own team. You want to like literally cheerlead yourself through. And as I said to Lydia earlier about having that, I don't think I said it to Lydia. I think it actually came up on that live that you were watching earlier, Christina. It's about the duality of being grateful for what you've got now and knowing that you can create the thing that you see in your mind and being grateful in advance of that, but staying in your own power, staying grateful in the here and now for what you've got, knowing that you can achieve the thing that you want to achieve too. Does that help?
Yeah, that's like everything. The last hour has just been everything.
Oh, brilliant. I'm so pleased. Okay, the next question I think has come up in the chat, so bear with me, let me just find out. Okay, so Becca, I would like to be more consistent and keep a high frequency more. What small things can I do to help me with this? First thing I would say, Becca, is have you come across the higher self system that I teach?
No.
So I'll share with you like a brief outline of this, and then it's the whole training that's totally free. It's like it's the umbrella, it's like the top of everything that I teach and share with my clients. It's right at the top, like it's lesson number one for creating success with ease, because as entrepreneurs we want like financial freedom, time freedom, mental and emotional freedom, and we go into our business to have all of this freedom, and then we end up working harder than we've ever worked in our lives because of what's going on subconsciously. So we want to rewrite any of those stories so that we can create a business and a life that feels good now, not when we've achieved the thing. It's exactly what I was saying to Christina. Be it first, which helps you do the thing, which then helps you have the things that you want to have. So I love this question, how to be more consistent and keep a high frequency more. It literally is embody the framework that I share, higher self system. So that is number one, put yourself first, okay? So if we, and I know this sounds probably so basic, you've probably heard it a million times, but like I will literally, what's the saying, like die on a mountain saying this kind of thing. Like it's so important. You fill your own cup first, like that's it, right? So you before your business, every single time, because that's what's going to help you raise your frequency. That's what's going to help you be inspired. That's what's going to help your energy be magnetic. Like, that's what's going to help people be attracted to you and the things that you are saying and the things that you are passionate about. And when we don't fill our own cup first, we end up working way harder than we want to. We end up doing things that we don't really want to be doing, like, I don't know, emotional eating or doom scrolling and comparing ourselves and not being present in our relationships and all of these things that we kind of realize that we're almost putting our life on hold until we create the success that we want to create. And actually, like, my way and the way I kind of embody and teach my clients to, it's like, no, you get to have and feel the way you want to feel, have the life that you want to have now, and like whilst you are building the business that you want to build, right? Because your frequency matters. We get more of what we are, not what we want. So if we are constantly working, you're not going to get out of that loop, because that's your reality. The change comes from within. So to get specific, you literally have to put yourself first. So, like, the reason I think something that will help people and help you, Becca, do this more is to realize how much easier it is to have a successful business. I know that the mindset and the mindset work is so important here, so I'm not going to like minimize this, but when you do this work, you really do get to have a big business that feels so free and easeful and fun, because your frequency is high and you just flow, right? So how to become more consistent? Well, put yourself first so that you can raise your vibration, so that you can feel good. And it doesn't need to, actually, I'm going to stop talking, Becca. I want to hear from you, like, how is this landing? And I'll coach based on what you say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yes, I do need to look after myself first, but I think I struggle. I don't know if anybody else is the same.
Probably.
This time of year. So as soon as the clocks go back, I go into hibernation mode, and I'm definitely getting the winter blues. So I'm normally quite a high energy, bouncy human. But at this time of year, I'm all right today because the sun's shining. I don't know where you guys are, but it's beautiful outside. So I'm just like, oh, I'm definitely solar powered. So I'm just like, why am I sat inside when I could be sat getting some sunshine on my face? But I don't know what it is. And I know I'm very self-aware that I need to be looking after myself and that my energy is lower at this time of year and da-da-da-da. But then, like Christy said, a negative thought comes in and then I'll dwell on it rather than letting it pass. And then I could waste a whole day and achieve absolutely fuck all because I've just...
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I feel like...
How do you feel around, like, you said about this time of year hits and you just want to hibernate? Does that frustrate you that you are that way?
Yeah, because I'm getting better, so I'm kind of accepting it, and I am saying no to things more. So any invites after 6 o'clock, I'm like, no, you're all right, thanks, sausage. I'm in my pajamas. So I am getting much better at putting boundaries in and not doing as much, because this time of year you can say yes to everything, can't you? And then you're frazzled. So I'm getting much better, and I'm being a bit kinder to myself in the fact that I'm aware that my energy is lower, etc. But I do still get frustrated that some days I'll wake up and I'm like, I can get loads of shit done, and then another day I can be completely, completely wiped out.
Yeah. Okay, so what I would say here is, whenever so I asked you, do you feel frustration around being that way? And you said yes. What we want to try to achieve, and it doesn't really, like, it might seem to you or / the listeners like that I'm going off on a tangent and focusing on that, but what we resist persists, right? So every part of you is good. Okay, so we want to embrace and accept who you are and how you feel in any given moment. So learn to love the fact that you slow down. Learn to honor and feel good about that, right? Lean into that. And when we can do that, for starters, like, you'll stop leaking all the energy around, like, why am I this way, or whatever, however it feels. You can learn to love that you slow down and do that. And then yeah, you focus on raising your vibration. Just like literally, that is it. Because when your vibration is higher, it's so much easier to let those negative thoughts just pop in and pop straight out again, right? You put a high vibe track on, you get in that energy of, it doesn't matter whether the sun's shining or not, right? So you know the thing that I said to, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Lydia, start of the day, and you visualize the day going exactly how you want it to go, right? When you wake up, Becca, what I want you to do before you get up, as soon as you wake up, I want you to feel that feeling in your body of, it's a bright, sunny winter's day today. And you feel that. And you visualize how you're going to move because the sun is shining, right? I'm not talking about you, but this is what I see everywhere all the time. People giving their power away to circumstances and situations. Yes, it is so much nicer it is so much easier to be in a better mood when the sun's shining, but we can still be in a really good mood when it's windy or rainy or whatever. Like, we create our own reality from within, and when we only allow ourselves to be happy and like chilled or whatever when the sun is shining, we like literally taking away our opportunity to be happy. A lot of the time we're living in England, for God's sake. Like, so I want you to give yourself the space and the opportunity to feel good regardless, right? Channel that first thing in the morning. What music do you put on when you're in a good state? Like, choose that. Get clear on the things that you do when you're in a good mood, and start to gently, you won't necessarily be able to do it all the time, but just gently move into choosing more of those things when your vibration is a little bit lower, because it is those things that are going to raise your vibration, right? So when things get harder, i.e. seasons change, you slow down, like whatever your reality is, when you notice that things get harder or busier or more stressful, whatever that is, our need for doing the things that raise our vibration goes up. And what generally happens without this knowledge is, because life gets harder, because our external circumstances get harder, we do less of the things that are going to raise our vibration, and that makes it even worse and harder and harder and harder. So we just want to, this is why I do the higher self system, right? Step one, put yourself first. What's that going to look like? And there's that in that higher self system training, there's journaling questions that are going to help you bring clarity for your unique situation. So I would 100% go there after this call, Becca, and like unpick your unique situations, like how you're going to move differently based on that framework. But for now, does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Amazing. Well done. Let me know how you get on. Okay. A question that has popped in since, like, as we started talking about that, from Lydia. I love this. RE vibration. I struggle to keep my vibration high when I'm surrounded by people with low vibration. How do you detach from that? If you cannot detach from the person, I also empathise with them. Such a good question. First of all, this might not be possible, but I do want to speak on choosing relationships where possible. And why I'm saying this is, when you become an entrepreneur, when you start your own business, you cannot avoid the massive personal development work, right? Like, literally, it's just, you don't realize, this was my story. I didn't realize it was going to be a huge personal development journey, but yep, you're on it and off you go, kind of. You have to do it, right? Because it's such a responsibility, and there's so much mindset stuff involved. Anyway, when you're doing that personal development work, you cannot help but evolve and up level in so many ways. You change, right, for the better. And when you change, your frequency changes, you start to no longer resonate with everybody around you. And that's okay, right? People, relationships are, what's the saying? For a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So not every relationship is there for a lifetime, might be there for a reason or just a season. So it's very, very important that you choose mindfully the people that you spend your time with, because they will drag you down or they will lift you up. Now, I did a post about this a couple of days ago, about the beauty of doing what we're doing in this modern day life, right? We have the internet, we have the possibility of being surrounded by like-minded people who will activate us to achieve what we want to achieve. Like, if I didn't have the internet and the people that I've met online to get me and understand me and show me what's possible, allow me to be the little fish in the big pond, like, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing here, right? Because I'm in a small town and I just have big dreams. So you have the possibility of choosing the relationships for yourself. And yeah, I just wanted to say that you can mindfully go out and choose relationships, like form new relationships with people that lift you up. Having said that, I get the vibe from Lydia that it's not possible to detach from these people, right? Yes, okay, so we could be talking about like family members here, and or partners, whatever. I'm not going to ask you to divulge, Lydia, unless you obviously want to. But how do you detach from that if you can't detach from the person, right? Okay, so what is very cool to learn to do is to feel and know that you are in control of your own energetic bubble, right? And you can choose to not absorb things that people are saying. And if you heard, I don't know if you've heard that saying, you can't change people. What is it? You can't change people. Well, I don't know what it is, but basically we can't make other people change. We can only change ourselves. So hopefully, just by doing the work that you are doing and by focusing on bettering yourself, you do have that positive impact on others just through the ripple effect. And you know, you are that beacon. And I'm talking lots of like coachy jargon, but I hope you get what I mean. I'm gonna go with this. Okay, so yeah, so you carry on being your high vibe state, knowing that where there are people around you that you cannot get away from, you just put up this energetic bubble protection around you, where you're like, no, no, no. Like literally, if a conversation is happening around you and you have to engage in it, you can engage in it, but you can energetically allow, like with your own mind and visualize, you can allow the things that they are saying to bounce off, like you've got one of those force fields around you, so it doesn't come in. And this is like it's a technique as a therapist as well, like where you can be hearing and helping people with really, really hard stuff, but you don't absorb that. Like, and as a coach as well, I hold a lot for my clients, but I don't absorb it, right? And that's the power of this. Like you have the choice to not absorb it. And it's just like anytime I am around somebody whose conversation I do not want to absorb, I'm just like mentally, I'm like, oh no, hard no from me. No, not going to engage. And just allow, like I choose for the things that they are saying to bounce off this like invisible force field. And so it doesn't affect my vibration. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Yeah, it's a good thing to know and does feel possible.
Yeah, it's good. When you practice it, it feels really good because it means that you just don't get sucked down. Okay, we do have another question. And this is from Natalie. My question is, how do you align your mindset with strategy in your business? And let me just get that mouse that way. My question, how do you align your mindset with strategy in your business and implement from being floaty, blah, blah, post this and that, feeling it intuitively, to constantly posting more and emailing clients with more structure? Ooh, I love this question. So we are talking about the balance between masculine and feminine energy, right? The feminine is the flowing, leading with your intuition, posting when you're inspired, and the masculine is like, no, be consistent, right? So how I do it, and again, it's me embodying the framework that I shared earlier, the higher self system. Higher self system is all about putting yourself first, right? Because I am creating success with ease because I've programmed my mind to be able to do that, first of all. And then my actions are embodying that all the time. I am choosing to enjoy my life. And in the process of enjoying my life, I'm in a high vibrational state. And when you're in a high vibrational state, you feel inspired, right? I talk about this, like with my clients, I talk about my creative channel is wide open because I'm in a high vibe state all of the time. So I create my success with so much ease because it just flows, right? This is a very big question because there's things about alignment too. You have to be in alignment for things to flow. And so I know that's not what this is about. Natalie is actually one of my clients. She is very much in alignment. But yeah, alignment is a different topic of conversation. But once we are in alignment in terms of the things that we're doing, the choices that we are making, the relationships that we have, all of those things, when we're in alignment and we focus on putting ourselves first so that our vibration is in a good place, i.e. following this higher self system, that creative channel just gets wide open. And so how I do it is I just embody the higher self system. I allow myself to have fun, right? Like the only moment we have is now. Okay, so yes, I have very, very big dreams and I don't doubt that they are possible, but I'm not putting my life on hold until I have those things. I am enjoying everything that I have about my life now. Like yesterday, the girls had gymnastics after school and Tom and I went to M&S, and on the walk back, I said to him, I'm so grateful. Like the fact that I never have that feeling the night before of, oh, I've got this tomorrow. Because Sunday night, I'm like, yay, it's Monday tomorrow. I love my work. I love the freedom that I have. And on a Friday night, I'm like, yay, it's the weekend tomorrow. I love spending time with my family. Like how grateful am I to have that life, right? Where am I going with this? Yeah, but I'm choosing that. I've made that because of my choices, right? And so I choose to enjoy life now, to find reasons to be happy. And it like, I used to help people with getting out survival mode. So I used to say the thing I'm about to say way more than I do now, but my capacity for joy is way above the average person because I've chosen that for myself, right? So I brought the standards, I brought the bar down for what brings me joy. And I choose it. I look for it. I focus my energy on that. And so I get more of that. I'm not available, like I said earlier, I'm not available for consuming negative things like violent programs. Tom, yeah, knock yourself out, Tom. You go and watch your violent program. I'm going to choose not to do that, right? Everybody's got their own personal choices. But I'm just so hypersensitive. I am very sensitive, and that's, I see that as a good thing, right? I'm very intuitive in my work, and so I don't think you can be if you're not sensitive. So those are my choices. But again, where am I going with this? I'm choosing everything. I'm choosing. I'm creating this for myself. So when you get to that place where you can live your days and your life like that, it becomes so easy to create content, right? Content flows in all the time, and it's a skill, right? I'm not always, it's not always been as easy. It's a skill that I have learned. I have not invested money to learn how to write good content. I have just absorbed and watched how it's done and learned that way. But to the point now where I'm just like, if you look at my content doc, there's like 2 weeks worth of content, and I'm like, I just want all of this to go out today. You know, there's so much, but it comes from embodying the higher self system, feeling good so that that creative channel is open and in its place. And it's also about allowing yourself to get to the place where you can be who you truly are, right? The more you are, the more you'll plug all of those energy leaks where you're like, oh, can I really say this? Or, oh, what will people think? Like, no, none of that exists for me, because I'm so happy being myself, because I know that the more me I am, the more I'm going to attract my dream clients, and I'm only available for dream clients. So I'm like, the more me I am, the more it feels good for starters, the less resistance there is, the easier the content flows, the easier everything is, right? Everything comes back to the relationship with yourself. So in answer to your question, Nat, I just embody the higher self system. I enjoy my life. Creative channel is open. Content flows in. I check in when that content flows in. I have the filter, always have the filter of my ideal client. Is this relevant for my ideal client? Is this speaking to my ideal client? If the answer is yes, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable to post because it's very direct or might trigger some people who aren't my ideal client, totally fine, right? People need to take responsibility for their own triggers. I'm not purposefully triggering people. I'm doing what I'm doing. My heart is in the right place. My ideal client resonates with my content, so that's who I speak to. So yeah, I allow those creative downloads to come in. I write my content. I just check, does this add value to my ideal client? If the answer is yes, then I'm excited to post it. And so the email thing, though, I get that, and that is a work in progress for me, because I do understand the importance of nurturing a connection with your email list. Really understand that, but it's not high on my priority list. So like, I do want to do more of that, but I know how to do that will just be a case of changing my relationship with email, right? I know that in the evolution of my business, I haven't always prioritized emailing my list. And so I am who I am today because of the things that I have practiced over time. And I'm aware that I don't email my list as much as I would like to. And then I ask myself, why is that? And that's because I told myself a story in the past that it takes ages or whatever, but it doesn't have to, right? I could literally just do a quick email, speaking to my ideal client, not overthinking it, and sending it. And that is where I'm heading, hopefully. But we're all a work in progress. You know, I'm not judging myself for who I am today. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm not going to create the success that I want because I'm not emailing my list as much as I want to. Like, absolutely not available for any of those types of thoughts. So yes, I am still a work in progress, but that's how I do it, right? I just embody the higher self system. So I hope that's helped. Guys, I know I've talked about the higher self system a lot today, and I'm speaking to the podcast listeners and obviously you ladies in the room, but if you have not yet come across the higher self system training, I highly recommend that you do absorb that. There's a podcast episode on it, and also a free training that takes you through it with journaling questions as well. So I will leave the links to those in the show notes. And I know that there's an outro, but I can't just end this and expect the outro to do it. I really want to take this moment to invite you ladies back next week, but also you guys at home or wherever you are on your walk, whatever, as you are listening, if you've got value from this today, do not hold yourself back from being on next week's call. Like, if you would like to be coached by me on whatever things coming up in your business, resistance, anything at all, then like register to be on next week's call. You don't need to apply, you literally just need to opt in and show up next week. It's Wednesday at 1 o'clock UK time. Anyway, I know that this is on the outro, so I'll leave that bit. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. Wishing you all the best. Hopefully see you soon. They're all waving. See you all soon, guys. Bye. So, my lovely, if you found value in this podcast episode, I'd love for you to go straight to stories now, share it and tag me in it. and then to get in the room with me next week and get your question answered so that you can move forwards in your business. Come to the next Bigger Than You Coaching Hub call. Just click the link in the show notes now to register and book your spot. I will see you there.